What's up, guys, and welcome to the Weekend League edition of the Founder Academy. So this is part one of two. I actually considered splitting this into three parts just because this video is already quite long, but I was thinking I don't want to milk this too long. I don't want it to be like three different videos that I'm processing on 3 different days. It's almost going to be the next Weekend League by the time all those videos came out. So unfortunately, this is a little bit longer, but I like to cut my highlights in a longer way that tells the narrative. Now, I've watched a lot of people cut FUT Champs highlights, and they basically keep in the goals. I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just I like seeing a narrative around a story a little bit more around a game. And I thought the way I cut highlights is something that makes my video unique. I just try to keep it long form and tell the whole story of what's going on. So I'm going to try to do that throughout this whole video. Again, apologies for the length, but hopefully you guys like the fact that it is longer form, and you know, I'm looking for people's feedback. If you think I should cut it down, if you like it this format, you know, these videos are to show you guys my progress in the game and kind of show you guys you know, where I've come in terms of being like a FIFA player, and you know, I want to know what people want to see. So I'm going to keep it the way it is, and unless I get like a massive amount of feedback that says no, we think you should edit it or keep it shorter or whatever. So we are just jumping right into the highlights. That first game I just kept in there just because I wanted to show you guys that game just ended at 0-0 after I took that first shot. The guy, I don't know if he DC'd or quit or whatever, but he basically, as soon as I took a shot, the connection just ended. I didn't get a loss. I, again, just kept that in there so you guys know that I'm not like editing this in some janky fashion. So you guys will wonder, oh, what happened to that game? Or, you know, is he omitting games, or did he do anything weird there? Like, it wasn't, I had nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with my connection. It was just the way the game kind of ended. So our first official game is this one. This guy had a 4-5-1. Very interesting team. He had that red Thomas Muller. I don't necessarily love this Thomas Muller card. I actually considered it instead of Kai Havertz because he was a little bit cheaper at first. But that Kai Havertz, even though I don't like it, is just rated highly. He's rated better than Thomas Muller. I worried Muller was going to be a little bit stiff. This guy loved his Thomas Muller. He scored his first 2 goals. I can't even remember if he got a third with them, but you know, he definitely got the most out of it. I've never even seen anybody else use this card, anybody that even packed him in their reds, but he apparently is a lot better card than people think. I never see anybody use his 86 rated card. I never see anybody use any of his other versions. So I'd be very curious to know what other people's thoughts are on that one, because it is one of the cards that I would consider putting in my team if I had the opportunity. So he did go up 2-0. He ends up scoring a third here late when I was pressing to try to get into the game again. Not a knock against this guy. He wasn't a bad player. When I rewatched this game, I was very much under the impression that like my nerves were really kicking in on Friday, and that's not an excuse for the loss. I mean, I don't know if it's an excuse anyway. You could say I choked or whatever, but I didn't really generate any offense. I think I was just rushing things. Again, I don't know if that was just because of the nerves of playing in Weekend League, or I just needed this was literally my first game on Friday morning, if I just needed to get that out of my system. But again, I don't edit my videos to make myself look better. I just keep every scoring opportunity and kind of tell the story of a game, and this one definitely told that story. It wasn't a super exciting game. He just had 3 chances and was very clinical, excuse me. So he did a lot better job than I did in front of goal, and I didn't even really get any clear-cut chances. So this is our second opponent that we come up against. This is more what I was expecting kind of on a Friday. Now, Fridays have kind of got this stigma about them. I see a lot of pros, I see a lot of content creators, they just go, oh, Friday's easy, you go 10-0 or whatever. I don't think any opponent is ever going to be easy. I don't expect them to be easy. This guy wasn't bad, but he definitely wasn't one of the better opponents, and his team kind of reflected that. He wasn't a terrible player by any means, but I generated a lot more opportunities, as you guys will see in this game. Nice little slip there. I'll get to that opportunity in a second, but you know, on Friday I came up against some very good opponents. You know, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You could be coming up against, you know, some of the best players, a top 100 player who just happens to be starting his game. So I think that's a little bit of a misconception, that everybody that you're playing on Friday is just going to be easy. Every game someone has to lose. So I don't know where people get that. I took every game and assumed that it was going to be just as hard as if I was playing for a 30-0 game. So this game was arguably one of my easier games, but it still wasn't easy. Every opponent that you play on the Weekend League is either a good player or trying very hard, or both, and likely very much both of them. So we end up going up 1-0 here. One of the things that I learned about myself from rewatching a lot of this footage and even just playing on the weekend was I need to get a lot more clinical in front of goal. I always thought that I was clinical. I always thought that I could put the ball away. Like when I get the ball on these guys with, strong foots or even on their weak foot sometimes, I'm usually quite good at, knowing what shot selection to pick. I think what really I need to get better at is things like the ball roll around the goalkeeper. Like there's a lot of instances this weekend where I got the ball in tight because guys are so compact defensively. You only have that little ounce of space, and the guys are a lot more aggressive with their goalkeepers in Weekend League than I'm used to. So they would rush out their keeper a lot, and I wouldn't say that I get like flustered by it, but it definitely puts me under pressure to shoot. And I don't love that technique, but it's something that I've just implemented into my game as well, just because it seems to create a lot more shot stops for you or for your opponent than it has in the past. Bringing your keeper out was never really that great a tactic. You would always just get the ball hammered by him. But this year, the keepers are much better at like stopping shots with their feet, with their fingertips, and all of these crazy, like ridiculous shot stopping techniques. So bringing your keeper out is actually quite good. But back to the goal scoring opportunities, I need to get used to that, and I need to just be composed. And when a guy rushes out with his keeper, that simple ball roll and tuck it into the empty net. I think the reason that I've overthought that a lot is because the ball roll isn't always the most responsive in terms of doing it. There's a lot of instances where I've tried doing the ball roll and it either happens really late or doesn't register at all. And I don't want to waste an opportunity trying to do a ball roll to find out that it's not even working at all. So it's something that I'm still kind of playing with. But when I am in real tight and I know I'm not going to slip a shot past the keeper, I just need to get used to just being like, oh, he's right in my face, quick ball roll, put it into the empty net. So something that I learned from this, and hopefully I can implement it going forward. So against this our second opponent here, we end up coming away with a 4-0 win. Good effort on his part. Unfortunately, he didn't generate a whole lot of offense. He was one of those guys that was just kind of running quite, aggressively after the ball, pulling his defenders out and stuff like that. It was quite an easy win. It could have been even more if I didn't squander so many chances. So this is our third opponent. He is a very interesting team, very colorful team, using Joe Gomez and regular Wan-Bissaka and also regular Dries Mertens. I expected him to make a lot of changes in his team, but he didn't actually. I think he ended up sticking with this team throughout the entire duration of this match. I apologize for some of the noise in the background. It's also really hot. It's like scorching hot here in Toronto, so I am just sweating bullets here. Hopefully I can get a little bit of sun after this, but it is just so humid, like you wouldn't even believe it. So anyway, back to the gameplay. That was my rant for the day. So back to the gameplay. This was just such a weird game. Now, you guys know that I've complained about like handicap and morale, which I still believe is in the game. We'll get to at some point in this video, I'm sure. I'm not blaming handicap or morale in this, but the one thing I would say is this was look at that for Luis Suarez. My team just played odd. They were really playing a really weird game for the first little while. Like I went down 2-0, and that's not a knock against my opponent, but both of his chances were really just half chances. Like he didn't really have anything on. He just kind of sprinted forward, and my defenders that are normally quite good, they just didn't lock in at all on any of the tackles, and they just let like Jamie Vardy sprint forward and smash a shot into the net, which was something I wasn't experiencing through most of the weekend, except this guy was up 2-0, and I was thinking, what is going on with this game? Like it is just doing really stupid things. Like that's a good example of where I need to ball roll, but it was just doing really stupid things, and I went down 2-0. So I just went super try-hard mode, got very aggressive with the way I was playing. And still, again, like look at these stupid clearances off the line and everything like that. Like I don't know if that's shot selection on my part, but like it felt like the game was just working against me. So I got that first goal with Saul, got that second goal with, I think it was Suarez, and then I just had to work my way back into the game. So rather than just get like flustered, I'm usually quite good at just staying composed and being like, okay, I'm going to just fight through this kind of handicap. But I just felt my sliders very early on in this game was like just really heavily working against me. And I couldn't do anything to stop those 2 goals. They were just like, he literally just ran through and the game just wouldn't let me stop him. So, you know, I know there was things that I could have done differently if I dissect the play a lot more, but my team had just fallen through the floor, and thankfully I was able to kind of fight my way through it. Not that it's like this heroic thing for me to do, but you know, my team finally started to play a little bit better, and then offensively ended up generating 4 straight goals. This guy just got mad and he rage quit. Like, he was in super try hard mode at first, and then he just got flustered because I pumped in 2 really quickly, and then I got my 3rd and 4th because he was just getting really angry, and you could tell that he just wanted to get right back in the game as quickly as possible. I think that's something that you have to definitely use against your opponent, unfortunately, is like use their rage against them. When they start pulling guys out of position, they just want the ball back. They're like, I was up 2-0, I got to get the lead back, and they just start making panic decisions. And then if you can stay composed, you just turn it around, use it against them, and next thing you know, 4-2, and the guy rage quit. So we are at 2-1, I think, at that stage, and then we come up against this guy again, using golds in the back. Like, I don't know how people are doing that. This guy, clearly, I mean, he'd played enough FUT Champs to at least get some red picks there. He had Luis Perez and can't remember who the other one was, Mats Hummels or something in the back line. But, you know, I don't know how you do that with a gold team. Like, a gold back line. Like, 3 of your 4 players are just straight up rare cards. Like, almost the rare cards are all, like, just terrible. Like, they're just not very good cards. Like, they're just not met at all at this point in the game unless you're using, like, Neymar, Messi, even Ronaldo. Like, a lot of these cards are basically unusable. So if I see gold cards, I think, like, ka-ching, like, here we go, this ought to be an easy win or whatever. But, you know, this guy wasn't too bad. You know, he fought hard. We got a little lucky with that first goal because Messi took the shot, bounces off the keeper, and then Suarez runs in and hammers it home. But we were starting to play a lot better. I was starting to get in a little bit more of a groove here. Just playing a lot more kind of tiki-taka, ping-ping passes. And, yeah, there you go, second goal. That was, I think, the only, I don't even want to call it a corner. I guess it's a corner, but really the only header. Headers have just been totally nerfed this year. But, you know, Suarez, he's just such a good card. He's just a straight goal scorer, you know, on his head, on his feet, whatever. Like, him and Messi, just, they link up so well. They link up like they do in real life. So I've just loved having the 2 of them together. But again, a lot of these early games, I just squandered way too many chances, and I'm hoping that, you know, from playing some of the later games where I was playing against much tougher opponents, I'm hoping that I can learn from that and just get better about, you know, making sure that I finish off chances when I get them. So we end up making it 3-0 there with Kai Havertz. That might be the only Kai Havertz goal in this entire video. I can't remember if he scores another one. He might score one other one, but man, that Kai Havertz card is just not good. Like, he was just clunky and slow, and oh, there you go, rage quit. So, yeah, I do not recommend him. His card, like, when I first looked at it, I was just like, you know what? Like, he doesn't have great acceleration. He doesn't have amazing agility and balance, but they were all fine. Like, they were very usable, but he was so stiff. And maybe it's just because, like, the rest of the cards in the game are so jacked up at this stage that, like, it makes his card appear worse than it is, but he just was not good for me, guys. Like, I've seen some people in chats, like, talk about how great Kai Havertz was, and I don't know if they're using him as a striker or what, but using him as the left attacking mid, he was really stiff, and there was a lot of times where he would just got dispossessed from the ball because he was not only stiff, but his acceleration is terrible, and because his defense is awful, if you lose the ball with him, he's not going to win the ball back. So I do not recommend him. He was almost 400k, and I think I ended up selling him for 3 something after you know, the Bundesliga was out of packs. He kind of dropped in price, but yeah, just, I would stay away. There's probably much better cards, especially at this stage in the game, that you can get, and linking him up, you know, is not that hard for my team. But if you're trying to do a hybrid, you know, you basically have to put Germans all around them because nobody plays for Leverkusen and nobody uses Leverkusen cards. So anyway, we ended up winning that one 3-0. I don't know why I kept all the highlights in this. Was this one of... this might have been one of those games where I think we ended up playing a game where I forgot to record it. I think I did this twice on the weekend. Yes, so I did this twice on the weekend. So unfortunately, I apologize, guys. I forgot to hit the record button twice. This was actually a game that I was really upset that I did this, because this game was really quite good. It was super close. It was 2-2, and then I think I ended up winning at 3-2 in extra time or something along those lines. But I got a Dama to pull it back there at 2-2, and I think I ended up winning this in extra time. Here, Tony Cruz gets the game winner. But I was so mad at myself because I was like, I want to tell this story. And yeah, it was just a really exciting game. So unfortunately, I missed it. But I was glad that I caught it before we exited out of the game, so I could just show the highlights from all the highlight menus at the end. So apologies, that was my mistake there. I promise I'm not trying to like pull a fast one by you guys. It was just straight up forgot what I was doing there. So. Oh no, this guy tied it at 3-3. Did we win this in shootouts? I don't even remember, guys. I just edited this. This is crazy. So, yeah, this was a weird goal, actually, this Heung-min Son finish, because I don't think he did anything. I think the computer did that for him. When they do that lean over run and they run after scoring, I am a big believer that that is a sign that your team's got momentum in its favor. The dynamic difficulty's going in your favor. A lot of the time it's just because of the offense, like 90th minute, 105th minute, whatever. Those goals that are scored that late, like there for me, Jerome Boateng's not scoring any goals. You'll see a couple chances I had with him, like that just were accidental. I ended up scoring with him, or I ended up getting shots with him. Like, I don't know what he was doing that far forward off a corner or something like that in future games, and he just totally whiffs on it. And in there, he scores like this beautiful in tight little finish with his left. So that's just the sliders for me, for the offense, just like jacking right up. And it's probably a 105th minute goal or whatever it was. I don't know. I'd have to go back. 110th minute. So yeah, the defensive sliders start dropping. Things like the fitness and the players' fatigue and stuff like that in the game caused the defensive sliders to go down, offensive sliders go up, and I was lucky to come away there with a 5-3 victory. When I say lucky, I mean like I still had to fight for it. I still had to earn the victory, but you know, was one of those games that could have went either way. So I believe we're at 3-1, might be 3-1 or 4-1. Then we come up against this guy. This guy again, also, I don't know what he's doing using Ousmane Dembele at right mid when he's got a right forward card. He's got to be on like 2 chem or something like that. I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or if he just changed formations for this game, but like really weird oversight on his part. But yeah, a really interesting dynamic of the team there. He's got like Diego Carlos, which is a card that I highly recommend. I was using his regular gold card for a little while, like earlier on in the game, and his regular gold card was like a beast. So I can only imagine how good, I think it was like a Europa card or something like that, or whatever it was, that yellow one that I saw in so many people's teams. I even saw it, I think someone had it in their team in this weekend league run. It might have been one of the teams you guys saw earlier, but he's now got that team of the season. I can only imagine how good this card is. But yeah, so we go into the first half at 0-0 with this guy. This guy was a really good player. You guys saw, though, I mean, chance after chance after chance. I'm not editing his out. I'm just like missing, or I'm just keeping any scoring chance in there, and I'm just like missing so many opportunities on my own. And I got to get more clinical, because this game shouldn't even have gotten to the point of, you know, where I let it get to. I should have just put this away. Like, normally when I'm playing guys like this and I get scoring opportunities like that, I think, you know, eventually it's only a matter of time before I unlock the door, I guess, to his defense, or whatever the analogy is there. I kind of screwed that up, but whatever the analogy is for that, I should have been doing a lot better. I should be like a lot more clinical in tight. Because, you know, we end up winning this game 1-0, I think, at the very end here. He gets one last chance where he tries to tramp it, which was just like a cheesy move, but whatever. He should have just hit shoot. He probably would have scored there. But yeah, like, I shouldn't have let it get to that point, guys, where it was like only a 1-0 win. It should have been 4-0. And no offense to him, it's just, I'm just talking about myself. Like, you know, the opportunities that I created, and I'm just walking in and blasting them. But again, I go back and forth with this. Like, I'm humming and hawing over it. Because 9 times out of 10, if I just walk in and just go near post, far post, whatever, and you just hit shoot with Luis Suarez, his shooting is so high that he's probably going to blast it into the net. So maybe I am overthinking it, but the way I play is so kind of tiki-taka in tight, short passes that I might be better suited just doing ball rolls just because they are safe. So I think we're at 4-1 at this point, and then we come up against this guy. Now, you guys are probably going to complain a little bit here. I'm going to whine about this one. This game, my team was just, I don't know what happened to them. Now, I will say this weekend I came up against some really good opponents. Some games I won, some games I lost, but I came up against really good opponents. I'm sorry to this guy if he ever sees this video, but this guy was not one of them. You know, and the reason I'm saying that is not, again, it's not because of the loss, but like if you just look at his decision making through the highlights that I left in the game, like he was giving the ball away, he wasn't making good decisions, like he wasn't like a meta player that really knows how to work his way through tight situations. It's just my team just got handicapped, for lack of a better term. Like, you know, I don't know if this is just David De Gea because he's got that special David De Gea and he just made an incredible save, but like that's 99 Messi. I finessed it, I took my time. Should I have ball rolled? I don't even think so. I don't even think ball rolling would have helped there. But like, look at this. Like, look at this Ansu Fati. He wasn't even under pressure here. Now, at the end of this game, you're going to see that highlight replayed, and I want you guys to really watch. He's not getting pulled. He's not under like duress. That was just a straight shot, and then he just gets David Trezeguet and just hits shoot, like just flies into the net. Like I was looking at this David Trezeguet card. I think he has like 90 shooting, even with like a hunter on him. Like I don't expect David Trezeguet to hit that shot. Like it was just, I didn't even know what to say. Like I didn't even know how to explain this. You know, I've said so many times that when your team's getting handicapped, regardless of what causes it, regardless of what causes like the dynamic difficulty to affect the sliders, when your players are getting, like, I'm just going to call it handicap, when they're getting DDA'd, whatever you want to say, whatever is fashionably acceptable, you know, your players run offside, they take dumb touches, everything's, like, you guys can see, like, the passes are just under hit, they're over hit or whatever, like, they're offside all the time, like, it's just, they just get dumb, and I can't explain it, and this game was just enraging because, you know, I had fought, like, even there, like, that guy should have made that pass way longer, and it's like, my player, like, looks, he just sprints offside, like, I probably shouldn't have played that, but he shouldn't be running 10 yards offside, and, look, I'll look past that. It's just, these types of chances, like, I don't even know what to say, like, I'm just going to let the footage speak for itself, and again, you can call me angry, or say it's sour grapes, or whatever, like, you know, that was just my fault. But even as David De Gea there, like, made an incredible save. But like most of this game, the balls were just breaking to him. It's not even about like missed chances. His David De Gea standing on his head, like I'm gonna eliminate that from what I'm trying to decipher here from this gameplay. But like just offside after offside after offside, post and toe saves. And then he just walks downfield and just hammers a shot. And I know, again, a lot of people are just say, "Oh, it's FIFA. It happens. You know, you just got to take your shots." But like, look at that, 61% possession. Like, I wasn't playing, you know, a pro here. I was playing against a guy that I considered probably a very limited skill set. Post after post after, like, offside after offside. Like, I don't know how that's not a foul. And like, this type of crazy stuff was just going on. His player, I don't even know if he held. I don't even know if he held the actual, like, what's it called? The physical button there, but like his player just held off my player. There, watch Kai Havertz again. When I played the ball through to him, Kai Havertz took a weird path. He didn't go in a straight line to the ball. He went like this. So it was just crazy nonsense like that was happening all game. This was probably the most frustrating game I played all weekend. Like there, like I read it, and like Sergio Ramos takes a dumb touch. I'm thankful Ter Stegen made that save, but this guy squandering chance after chance after that chance. I wanted to play that ball up to Adama. He plays a short through ball to Sergio Ramos there, and the guy scores with Virgil van Dijk. Like, I was just speechless at the end of this game. I didn't know what to say, and if it's just me being crazy and it's just like, look, I just took a loss, so be it. But like, I don't think that's the case, guys. Like, I really don't. And I'm being deadly serious when I say that. Like, this guy was not a great player, and I get it. Sometimes you lose to a player that's not that good. Even that, like, look at how far he threw the ball out there. I don't know how he missed that opportunity, but, well, my theory on that is that when the keeper's out of the net, your shooting falls through the floor. So that was probably why he missed that opportunity. But you know, again, my defenders, just like their AI, they were caught in no man's land. Like against other opponents, they were tracking runs perfectly. Like if you look at the way my defense is setting up, they were just dumb. They were dumb all game long, really doing idiotic things. I wanted to look at this pass. I want this to Messi right in the middle. Look at that. Look at that pass. Like literally, I just wanted to tramp inside. I had the angle with Messi. Even if his like defender would have intercepted it, I could have lived with that because it was just bad timing on the pass. But for it to go back and hop over and then look at this type of stuff, like I was just like so frustrated at this point with this game, just this game particularly, like no other games. But I was like wiggling through. But look, his defenders, I beat his Davinson Sanchez, beat his Van Dijk, and both of them got back in a position. If that was him, all he would have had to do is make one cut. My defenders would have overcompensated and lunged, and then he would have got the shot away. So that's what I was trying to get at. Like, no offense to this guy, I'm not upset at him. Like, he gets the win or whatever. Whatever his name is, some guy from Mexico. But I just want it to be, like, very clear that the dynamic difficulty sliders in the game are so detrimental to, like, results in some for and against. It's just, that's the biggest issue that I'm seeing people have over and over and over. Content creators, pros, whatever. People are raging at this game, and a lot of it is just this stuff. It's just the dynamic difficulty is so impactful. Like, that's that Ansu Fati shot. Look at that shot. He's through on a breakaway. Look at that. He's not even close. Davinson Sanchez not even close to him. Like, I couldn't understand what was, like, you explain that to me. Like, even that ball, like, I'm through there with Messi. Like, he's got to run on, sprint through. Instead, it lobs the ball high and kind of drops down. And even the shot that Messi gets, like, he's not stepping into it and hammering it. Like, I would have had to cut back in order to get a proper shot. I would have had to cut back. His defender probably would have cut back with me. But even if I did cut back and he overcompensated, I think that he probably would have still missed a shot. I think David De Gea would have still saved it. Like, it was just, I had no chance in that game. And I'm sorry if that's just, again, sour grapes, but, like, I had no chance. No chance. Like, I could have done anything in that game and I would have lost it. So I know you guys know that feeling. It's just sometimes it happens. But if people want to figure out what causes that dynamic difficulty to slide that drastically, I am all ears, because that is what my mission is, to figure out what caused that. I've been on that for years and years and years. I can't explain it. It's so ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to forget about that game. That game was just like an anomaly. Come up against this guy. This guy had team of the season, Lionel Messi, as well. This guy was a quite good player, so I think this game, from what I recall, was actually quite close. Again, I don't know what happened there with the defending, but nice finish from him from Messi. That was happening way too much. I wasn't getting that. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm pissy and moaning here, but I don't think I was getting too many instances where the defender gets it and my player just warps through. But that seems to happen to me a lot, which I don't get. I don't understand why that happens to me a lot, but it happened a couple times during this this weekend league. Like, here's another chance. Like, I just want, like, Adam. I want that pass. He's through. He's away. Nice crisp pass on his right. Instead, it under hits it, and it causes Adam to hit it with his left. So that's the offensive AI dropping, right? That's passes getting under hit. So passing dropping. So sliders are dropping, but like, what causes a slider to drop? Like, I just want to know. Like, there's Jerome Boateng, right? He finishes that other one with his left, and then he misses that. Like, that's what I expect from Jerome Boateng. He's a center back, so I don't expect him to score like a goal. Like, is that type of under hit pass and left foot shot, is that morale coming in? I don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you. All I know is, like, it happened. So I mean, someone can explain it to me. Like, look at that touch off Messi. Like, I played that ball like strategically to him. I wanted it to go there, and it bounces off of his head. You know, like, these types of things just start happening. It's just crazy. So thankfully we do get the equalizer, though. Man, that was like stressing me out just like watching that. So we do get the equalizer, 75th minute, Lionel Messi. Like I said, I think in the last video that, you know, I contemplated selling this guy. After this weekend league run, you guys are going to see how many goals he scores for me. Because I don't score a ton of goals, you know, I'm okay with even a 1-to-1 goal ratio. Anybody that's got above a 1-to-1, I think, is a really good card for me, especially online. If all those goals are online, and almost everyone that I have online or almost every goal I have with Messi is online. I think I played maybe 1 or 2 offline just to get their morale back up. Maybe a little bit more than that, but not too many. But his goal to game ratio is like 1.3 or something like that. Like, he is just the difference maker, and he was one of the reasons that, you know, I was able to finish my games, you know, and reach the level that I want that as quickly as I did, just because that card saved me. But yeah, so anyway, back to this game. This game was at 2-2. It was at 2-1, but he ends up scoring kind of a late cheese goal. I don't know if it was the 90th minute or what, but I was devastated when I missed this opportunity. This game was a really, really tough fought game. I can't remember if I talked to this guy at the end of it, but he was a good player. This was just a really good game, and you know, some good results out of this, because like both teams were playing quite well by the end of it. Even though my players took a couple of those dumb touches in the middle there, like for the most part they kind of came together, and this was just back and forth. This was one of the games that I just enjoyed playing. Like, you know, I just really want, I don't know what was going on there, but I really like playing these games. I like the ones I don't necessarily want to go to extra time, but like when both teams are playing well, even if I would have taken the loss here, I would have been okay with it, just because like this game was fun. It was just a fun game to play. You know, win or lose, it's back and forth. Your team plays well, and you know that you put in a shift, right? Your guys did everything that you kind of asked them to do, with the exception of some of those dumb touches. At the end there, I was so mad at that, like, Adama Traore one. I don't know what caused him to make that pass. I wanted it just tramped across. The tramp was on there with Luis Suarez. I'm okay admitting that. Most people would have taken that pass, but my player misses it, and Adama Traore puts it all the way back to Lionel Messi. So I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's my passing. It's, you know, very possible. You know, I'm not one to place blame just because I lose. When I say that there's things like morale and handicap, I'm not saying that to cover up any excuses of any losses or anything like that. I say it because I mean it. Like, I really believe that stuff's in there. But, you know, Adama Traore, that could be one of the many other factors. Maybe I just put in the pass wrong and I directed it towards Messi too much, or Adama Traore was tired, or maybe his passing just sucks. I don't know. I'd have to go look at it. But like, for him to miss that easy tramp with Luis Suarez, like, I don't think that I would have like directed it that far off of Luis Suarez. It was just really bizarre. Like, anyway, just bitter at that goal not going in. It should have went in. Should have scored. Come on, guys. But anyway, we go to extra time and we go to shootouts with this guy. Shootouts, I end up going into a couple shootouts. I think I only end up losing one shootout this entire weekend. They are devastating to lose, man. Like, thankfully I don't go into shootouts too often, but when you do, oh god, man, to lose them, it's just so deflating, because it's such a long game. It's such a grind, and there's so many instances where you look back and you just go, man, I really should have put this away. Like, even there, like, oh, I thought I was just like dead when I missed that opportunity. This guy, unfortunately for him, hits the post here, and then we step up with Alphonso the Man Davies. Leave it up to a Canadian, guys, to finish it off. But yeah, we just put this away. Bang, bang. I don't know how that ball went through the net, but finish it off with Alphonso Davies. Very fitting. You know, the Canadian does the job there, and we end up coming away with a penalty shootout victory. But again, GG's to that guy. He was a really good player. Man, again, it's just devastating losing that, because he probably deserved better too. He was a very good opponent. It was one of the only games that, like, I remember playing this weekend where I just thought, like, you know, this guy deserved a better result. I still think I deserved the win because I generated quite a few chances, probably more than he did. His equalizer late with Fekir was a little bit cheesy, but, you know, to take a goal or to take a game into like penalty shootouts, you really deserve at least some point off of that. But unfortunately, that's not how FUT Champs works. So we go into our next game here. This guy had 93 Harry Kane in the center mid. I don't even remember some of these teams, guys, to be totally honest with you. I remember this result because I just edited it, but I don't remember this guy's team. This guy's got a lot of reds. Of course, there are a lot of kind of undesirable reds, I guess, from what appears to be the middle of the year, I guess you'd say. Like a lot of cards that aren't really meta cards anymore. But again, like, anybody could put those cards in. You have to be able to use them. Like, you still have to have cards that are really, you know, will work at this stage of the game, and I don't think a lot of the cards that he was using were really that good. He just had reds in there. So There you go, right? He was just really rushing in with his D, got in behind him, and after that last game where it was like really tiki-taka and very, very like just a game of inches, it felt like a football game where you're just grinding out yard by yard by yard everything you had to work for in that last result. When I was sent through there with Messi, even though I was just like, I could round the goalkeeper here and kind of do what I've been preaching, but I was like, no, I'm just going to step into this and just hammer it. I was through on a breakaway. I'm like, I don't care if you have David De Gea. I'm not even going to give you a chance. See, I don't think he had David De Gea. I think he's got Schmeichel. I'm like, I'm not giving you a chance. I'm just stepping into this and hammering it. Same with Suarez. You know, I was just all attack mode in this game after that last one. I was like, you know, that was a sweat fest. I took a little bit of a break, but I was just like, this game, I'm just going all out attack. Unlucky here to get the offside call. Suarez tends to hang off the last man. He gets called a lot offside, and especially when you're getting handicapped, man, he is offside all the time. But yeah, so into this game, like I was just pure out and out. Like I'm shooting everything, as you guys can see. Like his Schmeichel made a couple saves there, but I was just like, this guy's not winning this game. Like I am just scoring 5-6 goals against him. So not ruining the result here, but like I went beast mode with my team in this game. I did not want this guy to get a result, and I just wanted to show him what was up. Even though he owned some of the possession there, I think a lot of that was due to the fact that I was just purely like getting forward. Like I don't want to say I was rushing things, because I don't think I was rushing him, but I was not baiting him and kind of playing the slow, relaxing game. Like I was just going for the jugular in this one, as you guys see. Like everything just forward, bang, 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 just to like catch him off guard. I don't know what he was doing here with his keeper, by the way. I noticed this on the first one when I went through with Messi. I thought the keeper took a weird move to the right, and I thought maybe that's the computer moving him to the right. But I started thinking, this guy's moving his keeper. Like the keeper wouldn't normally make that move, right? Like maybe I'm crazy, but I think he thought I was going to run into the keeper there, and I just basically walked in and hammered it. I actually didn't take a very good line on it, and if he would have just left the keeper, I probably would have shot into his body. But yeah, you know, keeper movement can also work against you, clearly, in that instance. He ends up getting one back here with Heung-min Son. This was just a cheese goal. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not insulting him, like he doesn't show the replay, but if you watch that goal back, it was off the corner. He played it to the top, or actually he might have crossed it, and I think my player headed it out. He literally just hit pass very blindly. He literally just hit pass into the box. His Heung-min Son just took it. He just turned and went in a straight line. Literally, the pass was in a straight line. He turned and ran in a straight line. And my defenders went like this. Like, they just opened up. It was like they just weren't prepared for it. So, I'm not going to complain. It was just, I think it's just the coding of the game. Like, it just, the defenders weren't capable of getting set or something in time. And, you know, credit to him for taking advantage of it. But literally, it wasn't a really skillful goal. He literally just hit pass blindly, turned actually into about 3 defenders. But the way the computer moved all the defenders out of the way, he just walked in and smashed it near post with Heung-min Son. So really weird goal. But again, after that, I was like, that's just a blip here. We're not going to let this guy stop us. Like, I'm just going like beast mode here. And then it was just messy. And then even here, like you guys see here, Kai Havertz, I could have overthought this. This guy was thinking, what's he going to do? I'm like, straight line. He wasn't reading it. Most guys don't. Like, most guys are so used to tiki-taka and cutting back and forth. This dude, I was just like, you know what, man? I'm just going straight. I'm just running right to your goal, and I'm just powering this past your goalie. Like, no keeper in the game is going to stop that unless he literally moved his keeper perfectly. But all 5 of my goals were just very, I don't even want to say unskillful, because they weren't, like, unskillful. It still required me doing something of significance, but, like, I just was very, very primitive in my thinking, like, very straight towards goal here. And maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. 5-1. We got our best result of the entire video. I think in this, we might get another one that's quite high, but definitely a very, very high scoring game from me. I don't usually score 4 or 5 goals, so I was quite happy with that result. I'll take that one. So what are we at? We're at 7 wins here. I think we go to, well, I won't spoil what we go to. I think this is the last game of the video. So I left this one on as the last game, even though we had 2 more on Saturday. I left them for the next video. I wanted to leave this one because this was one of the best games that I played, I guess, from an excitement standpoint, from a neutral standpoint, of the entire weekend. This guy had a really good team. He played 4-3. He had that Robert Lewandowski in the middle. And yeah, just a credit to this guy. You know, it was a fun game to play. It was really back and forth. It was a real chess match. It might not have been the most exciting from like a highlights package, just because I think I edited this. There was a lot of midfield play. But again, I like these types of games where it's just, grind them out. A lot of people don't. Guys get mad. They're just like, oh, keep playing that way. Keep playing like a real try-hard or whatever. I like them. I like these games because it's a test. It's a test to see like how good you're playing and how far you've come, right? These are the types of players that if you can get a result against, you've come a long way. Beating that last guy, I'm not insulting him, but like beating him doesn't, I like scoring a lot of goals, but it doesn't make me feel like I'm getting that much better as a FIFA player. I just basically crushed a guy with a much better team than he had, and he wasn't really that good a player, to be totally honest with you. He wasn't terrible, but he's not a top 100 player by any means. This guy, I don't know where he finished. We ended up talking after. I think I sent him a message, but yeah, he was a really good player. You could tell this guy was probably like a gold 1 player, if not gold 2, gold 3 at the very worst. But like, you don't have that team and play this good and not get gold results, right? So he ends up going up 1-0 with Robert Lewandowski. Very nice finish there. I really was not expecting a header off the corner, especially that far out. Then he's through here with Ronaldinho. When he does this type of fake shot, I just panic. Not me personally, but just in general, because I know that if he's doing that fake shot, it's going to put him on an angle where normally they rocket those shots in. But this game went really late, up 1-0, or down 1-0, sorry, to this guy. And then we get this chance with Havertz. There's a second goal. I had a feeling he had a second one. I think that might be the only 2 that he gets. Again, don't quote me on that. He might have a third, but like he didn't score that many. We'll put it that way. But that was the most important goal he's ever scored. Some maybe 90th minute cheese, because it was the 89th minute that we ended up scoring that one. I passed it in, pass, very safe, side to side, back over to Havertz, and I could tell when he didn't register his defender, I knew that when that little like icon didn't come over top of his defender, that he was dead in the water. And I was like, this guy is, yeah, I've got him. You know what I mean? Because the defender, the computer AI is not going to automatically defend it unless you're really getting a handicap in your favor. But when he didn't pull his defender over manually, I was like, this is a goal. Because like, again, the computer's not going to do that for him unless it's just, handicap. But I scored that goal, and man, that was a sense of relief, because I had that feeling that if I could take this into extra time, that I could pull out a result here. He almost ended up scoring a very important goal there very late in the first half of extra time. It was just back and forth. You guys saw that I missed an opportunity, I think, with Messi, and then we kind of come in here. I thought I had him on the inside post, but really good positioning from Allison. This was just like a grind them out game. Like there just wasn't a whole lot going on in this game, but it was just, again, very exciting. But safe finish here inside to Messi, and as soon as I got that inside track near post, we got him 2-1. And I was just like, when I get in this position at 2-1, I feel very confident that I can hold on to that lead. I'm not going to be a piece of what, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to be dumb. I'm going to see it out. Like, I'm not going to just play it around my back, but I'm also going to be safe with my passes and make him chase it. And basically that's what I did. So credit to that guy, GG's. Very good player. We ended up talking to him after. Obviously there was a little bit of probably frustration. He was like thankful. I said, good game. You deserved a better result. Yeah, just an overall great game and a good way to finish off video 1. So that is going to be the end of it. So if you could leave a like down below and follow the channel if you're not already. We'll be back tomorrow for part 2. Take care. Peace.